Hey, it's me. I hate long intros, so I'll keep this brief. As you can probably already tell, I'm trying something different for this video, mainly because I was getting so tired of my old style. Feel free to leave any feedback about this in the comments, I won't be offended if you didn't like it. And with that, I hope you enjoy part 1 of One Boss, One Item. As I do the standard early game prep, allow me to explain the rules. Every time I kill a boss for the first time, I am allowed to get exactly one item. This item may be anything available before the boss or directly after it. For example, if I killed Golem, I could choose the Celestial Shell, which comes directly after him, or something like the Community, which comes before. Bosses do not need to be defeated in the intended order, but I'm not allowed to save earlier bosses for later and then kill them later to get better gear. For example, I can't save Crabulon until post-Yaron and then kill him to get Ark of the Cosmos, but I could kill him post-Yaron for some post-Crab item. So what counts as an item? I want this playthrough to be challenging, so I'm including as much as I can that still feels reasonable. Accessories, weapons, armor, buff potions, healing potions, ammunition, combat tools like Rod of Discord, and permanent upgrades including life crystals all count as items and all require a boss kill to unlock. The only items that don't count are items that don't need to be in your inventory or don't help in combat. Thus, arena construction materials, tools, and NPCs do not require a boss. Default player abilities and lower tiers of a chosen item don't require kills either, although if I wish to upgrade a previously chosen item, that'll cost another boss kill. Apologies for the long introduction, but I want these rules to be as clear as possible. All I need to do to progress is find a boss I can kill without armor, accessories, weapons, and only 100 max HP. Should be pretty easy, right? In all seriousness though, I think it's pretty obvious what the first boss has to be. King Slime doesn't even have 3000 max HP, and he can easily be outran even without any accessories. If I can just defeat him, I can get a weapon, and then the rest of pre-hard mode shouldn't be nearly as bad. With that aside, I still need a way to actually, do damage. Lava is a viable option, but it's risky to work with since I don't have anything to protect myself. Plus, I've already done that twice before on this channel, so I want to do something a little different. NPC damage is an option too, but honestly that just sounds really frustrating to try to get working. If you watched to the end of my Infernum streams, you probably know where I'm going with this, but in case you didn't, I'm not gonna tell you yet. You'll see. Getting lava for farming events is nice too. All the footage you'll be seeing today was filmed before the Bountiful Harvest update, and the world difficulty is Expert Death. The minecart is a default player ability, so I don't need a boss kill to use it. Even though each life crystal requires a boss kill to consume, I can still use them to make heart lanterns, so they're still worth picking up. I'm putting my platform so close together since I have absolutely no vertical mobility. For the strategy I have in mind to work, he must be fought at night. And now, We wait. With no progress made all night, it's best to just restart. Yep, that's our ticket to victory. Each star does just over 1/3 of his health, so I need 3 shots to kill him. When King Slime takes damage, he spawns his minions. I try to run away to despawn them, but King Slime really likes spawning directly in front of me, which makes it much harder to get far enough away to despawn them. Miraculously, I do manage to survive the rest of the night. They do eventually corner me though, and from there it's over. I added some rails to see if I could pick off the smaller slimes by hitting them with the minecart. The damage reduction from adrenaline is necessary to not die here. Playing around with the minecart is fun, but actually hitting King Slime with it is bad, since it spawns more spike slimes than is necessary to win the fight. This fight is a drag though. It's kinda like working a service job. It's just barely stimulating enough to where you can't completely turn off your brain, but it's nowhere near as fun as just playing the game normally, and as you can see, these attempts go on absolutely forever. After a full hour without another star hit, I decided I needed a better strategy. King Slime predictively teleports in front of you in the direction you move. If you stand still, he'll just telefrag you. I need a way to constantly be moving, but in a way that his predictiveness can actively work against him. This short minecart track allows me to remain in motion while rapidly switching directions, which baits King Slime into spawning far away from me. The elevation also makes me completely immune to his jumps. This still doesn't fix the problem of falling stars being rare. I could theoretically sit here for hours to get the star luck I need, but I would like to be able to release this video eventually. Thankfully, Terraria does have meteor showers, which vastly increase the number of falling stars in a given night, and I completely forgot about them until right now. Celebration Worlds also double their frequency, so I hopped over to one just for the sole purpose of getting a meteor shower. Truly a hitbox moment. I finally caved and just cheated in the Cosmolite to speed things along. While this AFK setup is nice, there's a problem I've been ignoring until now. After the second star hit, the crown jewel will spawn. My original plan for this was to hop out of the minecart when that happens and then just try to survive for a while until I can get the third star, but this probably isn't feasible with my fairly small arena and complete lack of mobility. I wasn't sure what to do. But then, it dawned on me. I had one final insight that would make this fight not only manageable, but completely free. That's right, adrenaline works on falling stars. Completely annihilating King Slime for an armorless, accessoryless, weaponless, WASD-less, mouseless no-hit. I never thought I'd see the day where King Slime of all bosses proves to be an important milestone, yet here we are. Our first item? I think it's pretty clear that the first item absolutely needs to be a weapon for the upcoming bosses, but what class should I choose? Mage and Summoner are dependent on mana crystals, Summoner needs accessories, and Ranger needs ammo, all of which require wasting additional boss kills. This leaves just Rogue and Melee, my two most recently played classes. I'm kinda sick of playing Melee, and my most recent Rogue playthrough was specifically Stealth, so for this playthrough I'll be rolling with Spam Rogue, although Stealth isn't off limits should the need arise. As for what item I'm specifically choosing, I'm gonna go with the Crystalline. It has decent DPS overall, and its splitting projectile should make it pretty good at dealing with boss minions. Even though I now have a way to reliably damage bosses, if I want to make any progress I still need items to help with mobility. However, getting any item in this playthrough requires killing a boss, so I need to find another one I can kill with no accessories and just the Crystalline for damage. The Crystalline is pretty good against multi-segment bosses, so it should do well against Desert Scourge. Like always, the desert nuisances are the real boss. Expanding the arena has been proven useful time and time again. The desert nuisances also kinda just go away after a while, but hey, I'm not complaining. And thus, the second boss falls without too much trouble or any special tricks. I normally don't grind for them this early, but since I will likely never upgrade them, I decided that Terra Spark boots are worth it. The first challenge of crafting Terra Spark boots is obtaining the Tinkerer's Workshop. The goblins do not naturally spawn if you have less than 200 max HP, so I head to the outskirts of the world to farm goblin scouts for the goblin battle standard. I got 3 Goblin Scouts almost instantly after reaching the border. And then the last one didn't show up for another 20 minutes. Then I crafted the standard, set up my standard lava arena for dealing with events, used the standard, and nothing happened. Panicked, I checked the wiki, and to my horror, there it was. For whatever reason, the manual summon for the Goblin Army requires you to also have 200 max HP. I genuinely don't understand why Relogic programmed it like this. It's not like you'd ever be caught unprepared since you have to go so far out of your way just to manually grind for the battle standard. Either way, this single mechanic is detrimental to this playthrough, likely for the first time in Terraria history. This leaves me with an important decision to make. Do I go the safe way and settle for mediocre boots that don't require the workshop, wasting precious boss kills if I ever decide to upgrade them? Or do I go the hard way, spend 5 whole boss kills getting life crystals that I was planning to farm later, unlock a Tinkerer, and only get Terra Spark boots after a total of 7 bosses? I think you all know what path I'm gonna choose. With Desert Scourge's item chosen, I need 5 more items to make Terra Spark a reality. 4 more life crystals, and then the boots themselves. This means I must kill 5 bosses with the exact same loadout I have now, with my only upgrades being 20 more max HP. I also decided that the default dash was now fair game. It is a default player ability, but I've kept it off previously just because I feel it's a bit too powerful, but desperate times call for desperate measures. After a bit of deliberation, I decided Brain of Cthulhu would be the next easiest boss. It doesn't deal contact damage in Phase 1 anymore, and in Phase 2 it takes knockback, so it doesn't expect nearly as many mobility accessories as other bosses do. Jumpless taught me just how useful stairs are when vertical mobility is poor. Even with all these extra platforms and stairs, the creepers are just way too overwhelming. I think I need a different approach. I intentionally started fighting on the uppermost platform at night, just in case, well, you know. Meteor showers have really been coming in clutch this playthrough. I wonder if Relogic ever intended that when they designed them. Brain getting hit twice by the same star definitely helped too. With how scuffed that brain kill was, I didn't have a lot of confidence that I would be able to reach my goal of getting Terra Sparks as my first accessory, so I decided to not pick my Boast Brain item yet. This is just to make sure I don't accidentally soft lock myself if I can't beat any more bosses accessory list with just the crystalline. Eye of Cthulhu shouldn't be too bad since it doesn't have that much HP, and the crystalline should be pretty good at dealing with the minions. I don't have boots, but the minecart has proven to be pretty handy in this playthrough, so it's at least worth a try. With victory seemingly imminent, I felt a lot more comfortable using my life crystal from Raine. I don't have enough time to accelerate with the minecart. I must finish the fight without it. That was surprisingly doable without it. Maybe the minecart wasn't even necessary at all. Just like after defeating Brain, I'm intentionally holding off using my life crystal to prevent a soft lock. That marks 3 down, 3 to go for Terra Sparks, but I still don't have a lot of options for who to do next. Most expect some basic mobility accessories, which, in case you haven't noticed, I still critically lack. Crabulon is the next earliest undefeated boss in progression, and he shouldn't be too bad, but it'll take some good maneuvering and a bit of luck. Sunflowers can be bought from the Dryad, as well as grass seeds to help plant them, and since they're an arena buff, they don't require a boss. Crabulon is pretty easy to avoid just by walking in one direction. The only really dangerous part is trying to get over him whenever you reach the edge of your arena. Maybe some stairs to climb over him would help? After a few close attempts, I think it's safe to use the life crystal from I. You know the drill by now. No life crystal till later. That leaves just 2 more bosses. For the next boss, I wanted to try the only boss I've never beaten on tier, not even in vanilla. Mainly because everyone always hates on it. Calamity finally made a Revengeance AI for it, so I decided to try it out next. Keep in mind I have no experience fighting Deerclops outside of Infernum. After a while, I figured out the Ice Wave pattern. Go under once, then again, then stand close enough to bait the third attack and immediately dash away. Making Deerclops chain Ice Waves together prevents it from doing any other attack, making this fight very simple, but very long. 20,000 health is a lot to chip through when you only have pre-boss weapons and no accessories. Thankfully, I have a lot of endurance training from my weaponless boss series, so this is totally manageable. Although, admittedly, none of my endurance challenges were quite this monotonous, it almost feels like this boss was designed to be fought without any accessories by default. Deerclops spawning 500 miles away is getting pretty obnoxious. It's so common and so time consuming that I went out of my way to build a lava pit just to throw myself into, just to reset faster. Getting that close means it's time to use the life crystal from Crabulon. Well, that was almost a catastrophe, but it wasn't, and that's what matters. That marks 5 bosses in a row with nothing but the crystalline. Just one more for Terra Sparks. I have momentum, so I'm just gonna roll straight into Hive Mind, although I am gonna use Cheat Sheet just to give myself the summon item. I feel pretty confident I can easily beat it, seeing as how effortlessly I crushed it in my Malice no-hits. And no, I don't care enough to build my arena underground or place corruption blocks everywhere to stop the enrage. I don't think I can do this. It's just too much HP to chip down with only the crystalline, and I underestimated how hard it would be to manage the minions with such weak damage and no accessories. I need another boss. Queen Bee, the Perforators, and Skeletron are all much more dependent on good mobility than any other boss I fought so far. That leaves Eater of Worlds as my only option left. When the traditional arena fails, it's time for the minecart. Things are pretty chill, until he starts spewing the cursed flames everywhere. Remember, healing potions cost a boss to unlock, so I have to rely on my natural life regen and the occasional heart drop for recovery. Being in the air allows me to whittle down a lot of the segments without really actually fighting, although it does take quite a while. I had to try that at least once. When in doubt, expand the arena. The turnarounds are by far the deadliest part of this, so I lowered the bottom track to turn the arena into more of a hexagon than just a long two-way street. Hopefully this will reduce the accuracy of the cursed flames. As Eater starts getting lower on health, the worms start catching up. This means that my track is only good for when Eater has a lot of HP since he can be easily kited around, but it gets worse the lower his health is. A smaller circle would allow for much more rapid turning, giving Eater a much harder time catching up. Thankfully, I still have my small loop of track from the brain fight, so it should be perfect. The only change I made was adding a rail to make it easy to quickly get over to the smaller loop once his health gets low. I'm sorry, Star. Not this time. Thus, the 7th and by far most painful boss finally falls. It's been a pretty rough journey to get this far, but the final obstacle to getting Terraspark boots is finally gone. Now all that's left is to actually grind for the boots, starting with the goblins. I also forgot to consume the life crystal from Deerclops, so here it is. Like always, the pre-hard mode goblins are completely clowned on by lava. I'm counting hunter potions as tools, so they're fair game. Tim generously donated his hat to me. I'm just using it for vanity, so no boss kill. Having 200 max HP also allows blood moons to spawn, and there's no way I'm passing up the opportunity to get the money trough. With lava, of course. The best prefix without needing to reforge. Very nice. I think that's a good place to end it for today. Went a lot longer than I was expecting, but I've never done a playthrough where all of the first 7 bosses required this much effort to defeat. I know this video is basically just a quest to get the Terra Sparks, but next time you'll get to see some actual variety in the item picks since the way forward is much more open-ended. So far this playthrough has been a lot of fun, way more fun than Jumpless was. As I said at the start, feel free to leave any feedback about this new style in the comments. I won't be offended if you didn't like it, trust me. Until next time, thanks for watching,